So for every likes, there's always dislikes, right? So let me show you the 4 things that I dislike at the moment. Keep in mind, I don't drive this often. My wife does, but when I do, here are some of the things that kind of bothers me. First things first is pushing down the hood, right? I've got Porsches, so I'm well aware of how to push down, and I'm very comfortable of doing it. But I find that this is, rock solid. This, however, I feel flex on both sides, and I always have the fear that if I push too hard, I'll actually dent the area. Do you get that feeling? I do. It's just weird. It's just unnerving. Maybe the material just isn't thick enough. So my suggestions to Tesla, of course, is to make the hood a little thicker, so that way, when you push down, it's not a problem. So that's one problem. The second thing is opening up the glove box and opening up the trunk and hood. I normally have a button to do all that, right? Or just a lever. Here, everything is all software based. Aesthetically, I guess that's kind of nice because you don't have anything there. Likewise, you don't have to, they didn't have to buy parts to put in. But what that also means is, if you ever have a problem where you lost power or software glitch, you can't open any of the stuff. Now, unlike other cars, you don't need access to the engine or stuff like that, but maybe you do. Maybe there's something in there that's important, right? And so not having it, I find that it's unnerving for me. Now, eventually, if we drive it long enough, it's not a big deal. But for me at the moment, that's one of those things. Number 3, spare tires. Nowadays, I notice they're doing less and less spare tires, right? So my Audi Q5, for example, I think that's a 2016. That doesn't have spare tire, and I'm getting that, most cars don't have that. Yeah, I bought the puncture repair kit, so that way if I do run over a nail, I can still fix it, right? But what if you were to accidentally drive too close and sever or cut the wheels? That's a problem. You can't just replace it. What you have to do is get towed home, right? So I know there's a company that sells a spare tire kit that has the same size as this. I'm almost tempted to buy off of Facebook another tire from someone else, have it ready, have it sitting aside, so that way if my wife does have a problem, I could always drive that out, install it, and everything's good. So that's one of those things that I have to worry about. But it would have been nicer if it's tucked underneath, or if, you know what I mean? Like my Sienna has one tucked underneath. My Prius has one inside. My Z4 has one inside. My Z3 has one underneath. My Porsche Boxsters and everything has one. You know what I mean? So I'm used to having one of those. It just has that warm and fuzzy feeling that, you don't have that problem, right? So with that being said, it is what it is, all right? So what have I said so far? I've said the trunk. I've said the keyless entry. I've said the spare tire. The last but not least, the signal. I could turn on the signal. If you do it lightly, it'll just flash a few times. If you do it stronger, it'll flash forever, right? And then normally when you turn somewhere, what happened, of course, is it just shuts off. Here, it doesn't. So I find myself flicking up and down many times. Like I'll flick it down, doesn't work. Flick it a few more times. And eventually it'll work. But it's just a game that I just keep playing around with. I've never had this problem in other cars. I do have a problem with this car. I'm hoping in later, software releases that gets fixed. But at the moment, that's one of those things that while I'm driving, maybe I'm the only one with that problem. Maybe my wife doesn't have that problem. Maybe other people don't, but I do. And it bothers me. All right? So, folks, those are the 4 items that I'm griping about. Now, they're not, the end of the world. But still, it's just one of the 4 of those things that, I think down the road, if it gets fixed, if it gets better, it would be ideal.